Rightio, very, very special Campbells comments. Love doing different things, and thank you very much, Elle Moro 1 for joining me, and John Davidson. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
This is
Paul.
a very special night. Now we're recording this through the day. We pre-recording this for a very special awards night for the V.S.T.A. And unfortunately, due to COVID, this is actually the 2020 version, which is quite different to say the least.
Yeah, we've had a few delays. Tried to set up some live awards nights at Melton, and obviously with these trying times we've had a lot of delays, so here we are to celebrate our winners.
It's a very, very special night. Congratulations to everyone that gets their name drawn out. You guys, I'm going to leave you guys have the floor, and we're going to go through. We're going to try and be as quick as we can, but also give everyone as much respect as we can. We're going to have a couple of interviews, hopefully, going forward, and go from there. So I'm going to hand over to you guys. At the end of it, I'll come back and we'll recap on some of the great winners, but I'll hand over to you guys now, and away we go.
Thank you, Paul. Our first presentation is the 2020 Trotting Driver of the Year. This trophy has been kindly donated by Darren Redwood of EAS Australia.
And the drivers shortlisted in alphabetical order are Chris Alford, Kate Gath and Chris Finalists.
We proudly announce that the 2020 Trotting Driver of the Year is Chris Alford.
Chris has now taken out this award 9 times. His first was back in 2009. 581 drives on trotters for the season. He recorded 122 wins, 85 seconds, 74 thirds. That is a 48.2% of drives in the placings. And he earned for the connections $1,157,658. So that is really, really remarkable effort.
We now move on to the presentation of the 2020 Trotting Trainer of the Year. This trophy has been donated kindly by Diane and Peter Rothicker of Rothiker's Stock Feed.
I think we need to mention Brent Rothicker in there as well, Peter and Diane's son. Okay, and the trainers shortlisted, once again in alphabetical order, are Andy Gath, Brent Lilley, and again Chris Finalists.
And the 2020 Trotting Trainer of the Year is Brent Lilley.
This year is Brent's 3rd win. From 642 starters, Brent's trotters won 91 races, recorded another 56 seconds and 66 thirds. That is 33.2% in the placings.
Some very successful results for trainers and drivers in that season. Moving on to the 2-year-old horse awards. The 2020 2-year-old Male Trotter of the Year. The trophy has been donated by the Maryborough Harness Racing Club.
And the horses shortlisted are Don't Care, Keayang Ninja and Who's the Man.
The 2020 2-year-old Male Trotter of the Year is awarded to Don't Care by Used to Me out of My Dream Weaver.
Owned by Kate Hargraves, B.T. Cairns, J.G. Matthews, A.F. Matthews, M. Delzotto, B.M. Palfreyman, D.G. Carroll, K.W. Wiedenbach, A. Mifsud and T. Cairns. Trained by Kate Hargraves, the horse raced 12 times for 5 wins and 2 placings and amassed stakes of $87,855, and his best winning time was a 159.9 mile rating. He won the heat and final of the Vic Bred Super Series for colts and geldings, and won the heat and was second in the final of the Australasian Breeders' Crown.
A very successful season. Moving on to the 2-year-old Female Trotter of the Year. The trophy has been kindly donated by the Stall Harness Racing Club.
And the fillies shortlisted are Eva's Image, Keayang Xena and Sangriel.
The 2020 2-year-old Female Trotter of the Year is Eva's Image by Father Patrick out of She's an Image.
And the filly is owned by R.J. Matthews and P. Matthews, trained by Chris Lang, and she raced 9 times for 3 wins and 6 placings. So she was never out of the money, and amassed stakes of $50,290 with a best winning time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Won heat and ran 3rd in the final of the Vicbred Platinum Homegrown Classic, and won the heat, and once again 3rd in the final of the 2-year-old Vicbred Super Series, and was placed 3rd in a heat and 2nd in the final of the 2-year-old Australasian Breeders' Crown.
Moving on to the 3-year-old Trotter Awards. The 2020 3-year-old Male Trotter of the Year. The trophy has been donated by the Cranbourne Harness Racing Club.
And the horses shortlisted are Cover of Darkness, Kai Valley Shawnee and Powder Keg, and Who's Counting. And I just might add that when I was came across Ray Cross at the Trots one night, he said he was like a dog with 2 tails. He was that excited to have had we been having this event, he was that excited to have been invited. His connections of Who's Counting.
The 2020 3-year-old Male Trotter of the Year is Cover of Darkness by Majestic Sun out of Illawong Moonshine.
The owners of Cover of Darkness are TSR Racing, BJ Prentice, SJ Murray, AC Shelley and SJ Watt. Emma Stewart put the polish on the horse, and he raced 9 times for 8 wins and amassed $73,060 in stake money with a best winning time of, incredibly, 1:55.1. He won a heat of the 3-year-old Vicbred Super Series for colts and geldings. He won a heat and final of the 3-year-old Australasian Breeders' Crown. And I think that time might have been in the Need for Speed. It was pretty incredible.
A very successful season. The 3-year-old Female Trotter of the Year, proudly sponsored by Pastor Stevens at Lowalong Farm. Dr. Catherine McIntosh would have presented this award if she was in attendance at our award night.
And the fillies shortlisted are Illawong Stardust, Majestic Belle, I'm Ready Jet and Pink Galahs.
The 2020 3-year-old Female Trotter of the Year is Pink Galahs by Sky Valley out of Sweet Say.
Owned by CG Lewis, LJ Lewis and BT Healy, that is Caleb and Laura Lewis and Brian Healy. Trained by Matthew Craven, she raced 13 times for 10 wins and 2 placings, and amassed stakes of $162,140 with a best time of 1:54.3. She won a heat and final of the Victorian Trotters Derby, won the Victorian Trotters Oaks, she won the Bill Collins Trotters Sprint, and won heat and was 3rd in the final of the Need for Speed Princess Series.
Both these horses have gone on to be quite successful in coming seasons. Our next presentation is the connections of the 2020 Chris Howe Country Trotter of the Year. This award is proudly donated by Loddon Valley Stud.
And the horses shortlisted are Allwoods Sunbeam, Gus and Maori and Mystic Chip.
The 2020 Chris Howe Country Trotter of the Year is Mystic Chip by Tenno Trump out of Delta Spark.
And is owned by Christine Sharp and husband Glenn, and Glenn is the trainer. She raced 55 times for 5 wins and 21 placings and earned $44,790 with a best time of 2 minutes 2.2 seconds. She started the season in the old terms as a T1, and throughout the year continued to be an ultra consistent, honest mare who has always been thereabouts and consistently taking opportunities presented to her. A fabulous season of racing.
Definitely. The next award is proudly donated by NEOTA BLOODSTOCK, and it is the presentation to the connections of the 2020 Trotter of the Year.
And the short list of trotters are Gus and Maori, Mystic Chip and Wobelee.
The 2020 Trotter of the Year is Gus and Maori by Angus Hall out of Something About Maori.
Owned by Brian Healy and G.S. Lewis. Trained by Matthew Craven. Raced 51 times for 9 wins and 14 placings. And stake earnings of $81,086 with a best time of 156.8. An ultra consistent trotter who raced in every month of the extended 15-month racing season. He created a great partnership with Sophia Arvidsson, who partnered him in 41 of those 51 starts. And he won the Breeders' Crown Graduate Trotters Free for All. And I think it might have been him that started the wearing of the famous Maori's Idol colours of green and gold stars.
The next presentation is to the connections of the 2020 Trotting Race Mare of the Year. This trophy has kindly been donated by Valley Horse Transport.
And the horses shortlisted are Allwoods Sunbeam, Monaro Mare, Keayang Livana and Mystic Chip.
The 2020 Trotter of the Year is Mystic Chip by Tenno Trump out of Delta Spark.
And once again we go through the ownership of Christine and Glenn Sharp, Glenn as trainer of course, and that wonderful record of racing 55 times for 5 wins and 21 placings, and the $44,790 in stakes, and that best time of 2 minutes 2.2. As we said, she was just an absolutely ultra consistent mare throughout the year, and a wonderful season for connections.
And very good to be recognised as the 2020 Trotting Race Mare.
And I just might add too about the sponsor there, Valley Horse Transport. They are a South Australian company, but now have a base here in Victoria, coming out of the Bill Lasseur's property at Oaklands Junction. So they said when approached, they couldn't think of a better way to advertise in Victoria than through the Victorian Square Trotters Association. So we really thank them for their sponsorship.
Perfect. Our next presentation is to the connection of the 2020 Trotting Sire of the Year. This trophy has been donated by Allwoods Farms.
And the stallions listed here are Bacardi Lindy, Lawman, Fling It, Great Success and Sky Valley.
And the 2020 Trotting Sire of the Year is Bacardi Lindy.
And this is based on individual winners by sires that must be based here in Victoria. And Bacardi Lindy, he just keeps winning this award. This is his 4th year in a row, and yeah, he has just become a legend. I keep thinking he's going to be knocked off by one of the others, but no, he keeps winning.
Definitely. Heading on to the final 2 awards of our presentations. Our next presentation is to the connections of the 2020 Trotting Broodmare of the Year. This award has kindly been sponsored by the Mildura Harness Racing Club.
And the mares shortlisted are Class of her Own, She's a Comment and Steffi J.
The 2020 Trotting Broodmare of the Year award is Steffi J.
Now, Steffi J, she must be getting on a little bit, I would say. Owned by SW Withers. She has 5 live foals, and 4 of those being winners, and they have won 57 races. A top class race mare herself, winning 12 races and 17 placings from 84 starts for a trainer back in the day, being Corrie Van Ryn. This season's winners were Valley SJ, Jaden Gill and Revy J, and even some of those offspring are getting up in the years too. So yeah, what a remarkable effort to still be so dominant.
The concluding award is the presentation to the connections of the 2020 Trotting Breeder of the Year. This trophy has kindly been donated by Aldebaran Park, who gives continuous support and sponsorship to the V.S.T.A.
And leading in alphabetical order is Aldebaran Lodge Proprietary Limited, Sharon Park and Yabby Dam Farms Proprietary Limited.
The 2020 Trotting Breeder of the Year is Yabby Dams Farms Proprietary Limited.
The Yabby Dam Farms breeding operation really came into dominance during the 2018-19 racing season, breeding 38 individual winners and continued on into the 19 and 20 season to eclipse that mark. Goodness, so they just keep turning out the winners.
Definitely, a good breeding effort.
Right, congratulations to everyone. Well done, you guys. That was good. Very different, standing out here with the sun belting in as well. It's a bit hard on the eyes to see from time to time, but congratulations to everyone for winning too, and well done for you guys for recognising them, even though it's 2 years ago. It's great that you took the time out to recognise them. It's a little while, John. But
in COVID times, it's quite acceptable.
It is, and it's been very, very trying. And I know you guys are trying to do a lot of other things going forward. The V.S.T.A. Progressing, trying to get more sponsorship and more members. And this is a way of at least recognising the people. It's quite interesting. Like Mystic Chip, I think that's one of the great stories, because if anyone said, "Oh, Mystic Chip was a great horse by any stretch," on Sharps won't mind me saying it. They're not going to think that, but she just had a stellar year that year. And it's terrific that she's been recognised in this way, and she was even in the same sentence as Wobelee and happened to beat her. So I think that's
achievement.
It is great. These days, these events don't happen without sponsorship and without people contributing, and I'm sure there's plenty of people there. We've got to thank Kath McIntosh, one of the ones I will stand out there with Lower Long Farms, recently rebadged, so it was Northern Rivers, it's now changed. Aldebaran Park, Harassed Trotters or Yabby Dam Farm. There was also the new horse transport you just said there before, John.
Valley Horse Transport.
Valley Horse Transport. Who else have I missed?
Well, we're really lucky to have a lot of individual clubs jump on board.
Stall
like
Harness Race
Mildura
and Stall.
Yep. So it's really exciting that they jump on board
yeah.
and sponsor some of these awards.
And
and of course Rothinger Stock Feeds.
Up the road, we'll be in trouble. If I go there next time, Di or Fro, she'll throw a bag at me. I'll be in all sorts. But in all seriousness, no, we must say a big thank you to all of those, and I think what you're doing is terrific. Also, I'd like to acknowledge that the raffle that Harassed Trotters have donated to you guys. Well, it's come up as a raffle, John, as you said. There's 100 tickets, $50 a ticket. That's it.
Yep.
So, and it's that simple to get to a free service to the Son of Love You in Classic Connection, which is enormous, and it's a no-brainer, John. Like, if that horse wins a race as a 2-year-old, in its 2-year-old year, so it doesn't have to win a 2-year-old race. This is a quirky little part about it. It can win any race. You get $3,000 back as a bonus from Harassed Trotters, which is just huge, isn't it?
It's just enormous. We just can't express enough our gratitude to Pat Driscoll and his team. It's just wonderful, and what likes of Duncan and Pat have done to enhance the breed of the Square Gator in the last decade has just been enormous, and we're just going. Well, everybody just says that the strides that are being taken by the Trotters is just enormous. They just get better every year. The 2-year-olds just come out, and the drivers, they don't sit up and nurse them anymore. They drive them like motor cars. Drive them out of the mobile fast, let them rip, and they just keep trotting. And it's thanks to the likes of those two.
Raising that bar.
Yeah, they've just lifted the bar that much, and it's just,
We're all starting to reap the reward, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, this is a wrap for the 2020 V.S.T.A. Square Trotters Award. Well done, you guys. Thank you very much. It won't be the last one. We've got to do another one. So thank you very much, and congratulations to all the winners.
Wonderful, thank you.
Wonderful, yeah, thanks, Paul.